I want to talk briefly about where we're at with cyber, because I think people think that cybersecurity is an IT problem, but it's not really. It's really a management and leadership problem and an education problem, because people just don't understand the risk. They're not mitigating the risk. So if you're not 100% clear on this, cybersecurity is by far the biggest risk to your company. And if you're not managing it effectively, you may not have a business soon to manage. So let's break that down a bit. Why am I saying that? Well, last year I worked out that through phishing, which is where people click on a dodgy email, the average person that we support, so one person, lost their business £520 on average across all of our clients. So that's quite a lot of money. The cost of recovering from a ransomware incident, fortunately they're fairly rare, but not unheard of. You're talking at least, and these figures aren't exaggerated, by the way, these are realistic numbers. You're talking at least £30,000 per staff member. Now, that's quite a significant amount of money. I don't have £30,000 per staff member to give some hackers. I think that's probably the case for most small businesses. Now, the problem we have is that there's a big disconnect here between these numbers. So I'm saying, just so you're clear, I'm clear. Last year, each of the users, your users that I know about, lost their business around £50 a month. Now, when I'm saying I'd like to implement this tool or this tool, which costs £2 or £4 or £5 a month, there's an awful lot of pushback. And this makes no business sense from a risk perspective, because I'm saying, well, hang on a minute, if we educate the users so they know more about phishing, they're less likely to lose that money, which would be cheaper. And certainly when it comes to ransomware, it's probably not even possible to recover. The insurance companies, by the way, because I'm quite a big fan of you having insurance, they're losing money. So every pound that you spend on cyber insurance, they're probably losing £1 to £3 a year. So what that means is we've got to kind of change our approach. And I think probably the most sensible approach is really to say, well, we've got to get the product portfolio that we've got for managing your cyber implemented across the board. The problem we have is that increases the support costs. But as I mentioned, this is really a compliance and leadership problem. It's not really a technological problem. It's not like I can fix it. I can't. I don't have the ability to stop hackers. They are going to get in eventually, whatever we do. So all we can do is reduce the probability by 95% by putting things in place. So there's lots of things we can do. We can do education. We can block stuff. We can provide. We can make sure you've got insurance. We can provide different tools and techniques that, if you are infected, will pick it up quicker, and that will limit what hackers can do easily. But really it comes down to understanding that as a big risk, this is something that you need to get involved with and make sure that you and your team understand the risk, and then we can put the tools in place. So an example that we include in our cyber package is a password manager, which means that you're less likely to get breached because you've got strong passwords. There are still people out there that reuse the same password for everything, and that's a big problem. It's a big problem. And the problem is, if we just go, here's a password manager, no one's going to use it because it's just extra work for them and they don't understand the risk. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to be explaining a bit more detail about how we're going to be doing this and what the process is going to be. But really, I want you to understand that this isn't about us doing more stuff to make more money. It's about us managing the risk for your company. Anyway, speak soon. Cheers, bye.